Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Ulibarri. I'm joined by Nate Perkins, and we are bringing you commentary for the final round of the 2019 Waco Annual Charity Open. And this is the back nine footage.
I'm so pumped to see what goes down. We're tied up 35 under par.
And what a hole nine to bring us into this back nine. So much excitement. I mean, classic battle. Ricky, McBeth, and they are all notched up at this point, are they?
Yeah, no, they definitely are. And Ricky doing Ricky things. We just saw the scrappiest eagle we've ever seen. And I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
Hole 10, par 4, 591 feet. And this is like your kind of dream hole. It's a perfect width of a fairway without being too difficult, without being too easy by any means, because you have to land it so soft in the fairway at the end of your flight. You really want to throw fast off the tee, and get as much distance as you can, but you don't have to. You can also kind of tone down fairway driver, make sure you land in the middle, but then your approach is a little bit tougher because you're kind of in between a putter / mid-range. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys opt for. And Ricky throwing backhand, kind of tickling on the left side, but gets all kinds of good reactions off the tree. He's in the middle.
And left is good. Two left is no man's land, but left is good because you have that straight approach to the pin. What's interesting here, though, is all the spectators in lining the fairway. We just don't see that very often. Look at them all down there. I mean, some of the shots end up trickling that way, and that one's actually headed that direction.
Yeah, you can kind of see them kind of move out of the way. And what a response from Paul, throwing it right down the middle of the fairway. I'm throwing a really flippy disc, trying to really just hit that fairway and ride it up, and I'm really close to tilting it over, but I don't. I throw it straight in the woods. But good thing for me is that luck was on my side after that shot.
Was, because when you go down there, it's a total pitch out.
Oh, yeah. And here we go. Emerson, and this needs to tilt as well. See the height? Not what you want.
Yeah.
If you don't get that turned over, that height will go exactly where I just did. He doesn't get as a good reaction.
And that's an Explorer, too. That's one of his new signature Explorers, and it showed you how stable it is.
And here's Ricky, and he has a mid-range. Kind of tickles off there. Good reaction off the ground.
Great reaction.
Sits down really soft, yeah.
You normally don't. When you hit that scraggly tree right there, it normally just stops dead in its tracks.
Yeah, and I want to bring you guys kind of into the mood at this point. Is Ricky just hit an eagle putt on hole 9 to kind of take back the momentum, and he had the box, and now he's parked. McBeth kind of turns that over. He has a fairly long putt.
Definitely a tester.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, what a good break not to be all the way down the hill. And
so that's normally your orange, was it PA2 or
It was a PA, yeah, it was my PA Wonder.
Yeah, the PA Wonder. So what in the Discraft lineup are you throwing instead?
I'm throwing the ringer right there to replace that.
The
ringer. Z ringer. Yeah, and you see Emerson is way down there at the bottom and pitches out and actually gets the circle's edge. What a shot.
Look at that advertisement right there. Did you see that, Luna? Perfectly squared up. The swinging out of the basket.
In his perfect round, please go back and watch it. It was awesome to see Paul shoot the 18 down, but he actually got those to stick. He had a couple that were kind of left, kind of right,
low
with
pockets.
Some good catches, but it's funny how things change on the final day. Emerson kind of pushing that branch back a little bit, and you can tell how uncomfortable he was from that.
No, that wasn't. I mean, that was 22 feet right there, and that's on the pole to take the lead.
And look at the reaction, though. It's 22 feet. He makes those in his sleep. He makes it, and he takes the fist bump right after to just let everybody know, this is important.
He's on one.
Great reaction from Ricky.
Yeah, I got to play with Ricky during round 2, and it's really interesting to hear him actually talk about how far his putts are. He hit a 45-footer, and he called it a 20-footer. He actually called it a 20-footer, and me and German just laughing Ricky, that was 15 feet outside the circle, dude. But it really shows you how strong he is upstairs.
Oh, look at this slow-mo. One of my favorite shots to throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is a right to left sidearm kind of putter shot.
And you might be top 5 in that department, dude.
You're making me blush again. I guess.
Don't tell Jim that.
Yeah, if you're gonna be doing commentary, you can't be throwing compliments like that at me.
I mean, but it's just facts. You've been putting those close for a decade now, and it's cool to see you do it with a different mold.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's fun to have to figure out a way to keep doing it, with even a different manufacturer. Now we're coming into this hole. You can see how tight it is. This is a super fast green. You see Ricky kind of rip it right at it.
That is heading straight for it.
Almost goes ESPN moment. Almost hits the cameraman.
Wow.
But as you know, you go deep on this hole, brutal, because you have such a death putt. And here I am kind of flipping up a nice shot.
That's perfect. Gonna hit the hill. Slow down.
Oh, boy. You go behind that. Now you got a bunker bush.
Yeah, that's pretty tough over there.
Not optimal in any way. And
Beth reaching for that wasp again.
And he kind of catches that last kind of guardian tree and keeps him short. So we see them both kind of make mistakes again. In the last couple holes, you see the scores kind of flip and flop as the momentum shifts from both sides. It's really interesting to see this. And it's Emerson at this point just trying to hold himself together, Yeah. He's struggled a bit on the front 9, and then coming into the back 9, struggling a little bit again.
Mm-hmm.
Catches a good break off of that tree. Let's hope to see him kind of dial that in and finish strong.
And it's got to be tough too, because Emerson came here on this final day to win the tournament. I know he might have been back. So now that it's kind of out of the question, the focus kind of shifts, It's hard to stay in the zone.
And Ricky's only circle's edge there, and he lays it up. And you can barely see me. I got nothing.
It's a pretty cool perspective.
Yeah, I'm just in
Is that makeable?
I have a little gap. I do. When you're that close, you'll find a way to try to fit it through.
You made it.
Yeah.
It's makeable.
But you know what I mean? Like, you're that close, and you convince yourself that it is makeable. We're never going to lay that up. Yeah. And you can see me smiling coming out of there, and I tell my caddy, I'm like, I promise you there's nothing there. But
nice.
Yeah, so that was a good feeling to kind of keep it going for me. And at this point, reality is set in. I'm not going to win the tournament, but I am still trying to jockey for a good position. And third place is totally accessible at that point.
No, absolutely. You're in the mix for third. And Rick holding on to the lead. This is wow, guys. I mean, perfection is out of the question right now. Paul and Ricky are not going for the perfect round.
They don't care.
No.
They're trying to win the tournament.
They're going for the win, whatever it takes. And you just saw that. Normally, Ricky would just be jamming that putt. But he's like, I'm not losing a stroke here. No. I've got one. I can just lay this up and keep my lead going into the next hole.
Yeah, hole 12, par 5, 609 feet. Really, you want to place a sidearm, especially for everybody who's going to be throwing. We're all going to be placing sidearms in the middle of the fairway, something fairly stable to just give us an option to go at the pin if we can. We're thinking eagle,
Yeah.
Every single one of us. I like that shot.
Yeah, good
I like that
Raptor
shot. I took a
forehand.
little bit off of it just to make sure to hit the gap at that point because I, as well as them, I can't be that aggressive,
Yeah.
Because it's such a scoreable hole. He pulls it a little bit.
He does. He goes a little straight with the Sexton Firebird.
But that's fine.
What's Paul throwing right here?
This is a force.
Really?
Yeah.
He still likes those drivers for the forehand. Interesting.
And that's good. And it's funny to see every single one of these sidearms. We're all kind of taking a little bit off. You see that to kind of make the fairway?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting perspective, especially for the viewer, seeing even the rounds before this and how much further those drives were when they hit the gap.
Yeah, definitely a little timid.
Yeah, and here's Paul.
What is he doing?
He's going super aggressive.
Where?
I mean,
from there, way too far back.
And you can tell like that one hurts. That one really hurts. He's like, I made this mistake. That I shouldn't have done that.
That's a shock. I mean, he can just put it at the bottom of the hill and go for the birdie. Ricky with
Perfect.
the ricochet up to the top of the hill, and it's rolling back down.
And he doesn't even see that. So he turns around and he's just like, what do I got to do?
Whoa.
You got to be kidding me.
This is back and forth, dude. This is
It's crazy.
this is crazy. What is happening? Emerson hits the first tree in front of him.
And we saw Eric Oakley do that. He was in the exact same position, and they want the eagle, man. And I'm going with my flippy roller up that hill.
You have another one of those broken discs.
I
You
do.
found another one.
Oh, yeah.
How'd you get that? What is that? What are you throwing?
It's an Avenger. It's a D Avenger SS that I found on the used rack at the Memorial this year.
Perfect. That's
Yeah, it was money.
perfect for a professional.
It was $2.99.
Even better. Even better.
It's made me more money than that.
I hope they gave you a discount for being a team captain.
And so Emerson, he pulls that a little bit, but now he's up on the second shelf. Once you get up there, you should be able to manage some sort of out to get up to the basket.
Yeah.
And Paul's not in a very manageable situation, but he gets good ground play, and that puts him in the circle.
Looks like he's liking that zone. It's coming off his hand clean.
And it doesn't look like it right there, but that was kind of a sticky situation. And at this point,
just a little awkward footing, but you got that.
Yeah.
Emerson looks like he's running that with his harp.
I think he was. I
Yeah.
really do.
He's over it.
And here's Ricky. So he was down there to the left and then pitches up, hits a tree.
No.
Doesn't get in the circle, misses that. He's tapping in for par. If he can make this.
He's got a 20-footer.
Actually, he goes too far here.
He's got a 22-footer for par, while Paul is close for birdie.
And Ricky hasn't really thrown a bad shot. He kind of caught that really bad break down the hill.
Yeah, the roll.
Mm-hmm. And then what happens? Momentum switches again.
So that's tying it up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this couldn't get any more exciting because the wind kind of died down for this final day. So all of these holes are gettable for all of these players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and I obviously played on the card, so I kind of know what's happening. And I'm still sitting here excited. We got a tie ball game with these guys,
and they're running.
And
away
I'm 31 under par.
That's legit.
That's pretty good.
Last year, Germ and I went into the playoff at 33 under par. So these guys are the level of play. I can't speak about it enough. It's just getting better and better every year.
Hole 13, par 4, 555 feet. And it is a little calmer today. You're going to see backhands up the middle to the right and a few sidearms go out left. You got to beat one tree. It's right in the middle. And if you can beat that tree, you got the whole fairway in front of you. Easy birdie after that. But you got to beat that tree.
Yeah, you got to beat that one for sure.
And I know it. I throw that shot 100% knowing that if I throw it perfect, I'm probably going to hit that tree.
I wanted to see one of these guys go for the pin. I played with James Conrad in the final round, and he was circle 2 off the tee. So it's possible, especially with the win on the line. I don't see why not.
And they all make the gap. I say Ricky and Paul make the gap right there, and they're both in really good positions to attack the green. And it's, we can mention it again. The field is playing great at this point. Everybody's right there. At this point, I think Sepopayo, Alex Russell might be within 4 to 3 strokes of the lead.
Yeah.
Because they're almost playing perfect.
Yeah, they're putting on fire rounds.
And I just, I knew the position that I was in. I kind of rushed that shot. But I rushed it knowing that if
Couldn't really get up and down.
Yeah, there was no getting up and down and
Yeah.
just going forward. I just need to make sure to concentrate on the next one. Emerson. Look at this kid.
That's a gorgeous approach.
Yeah. Really nice birdie from Emerson right there. For the longest time, I called him Keith Emerson because I thought it
No
was
doubt.
backwards.
Like the musician. I thought it was backwards too. That's funny.
There's a really good shot from Ricky. That's a tap-in birdie. He does have that wind a little bit, but I mean, that's manageable from there for sure.
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking, okay, just get it up and down. Easy, put it a couple feet.
Yeah. Leaving yourself a little putt.
Yeah, I just don't like that about myself, how I have to, I relax on one shot, and then now I have this 25-footer in the wind. Paul putting it close.
Yeah, his drive was way down there. 450 feet. Yeah, you got a little tester, Paul. Up. Down. On the pole.
I was actually from the front nine coverage and this nine coverage, I was actually putting very well. And the confidence was there. But during that exact putt, there's a restroom behind it. There's toilets flushing. There was
Oh my goodness.
the hand dryer going off. I had to
Oh,
reset
man.
a couple times even before there. So that was a lot harder putt, and I made it look for sure. In my mind, I was going crazy. I'm like, there's probably no way I make this. And it's funny to just a perspective of what's going on in our head. We're not like superhumans out there.
Yeah, no, it's a great point to note that, and I'd really like to have McBeth or Ricky on here to hear them say that, because I don't know if they would admit that
Yeah.
that they're afraid that they might miss, because
Oh, I know they do.
Maybe
Everybody questions it for sure.
they probably do.
Hole 14, par 3, 303 feet. You got one guardian tree in the middle there. And like you had said before, the wind is kind of calmed down. So this is a much more manageable birdie. And we're all thinking birdie at this point. We all have strong sidearms in the group. And that's really what it takes to almost have like a higher percentage chance at it.
So he's going forced again right here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Let's see if he's going to line up the Annie. I'm guessing he's going to line up a little baby Annie right here.
And why he would line up the Annie, like you're saying, is because it actually makes the fairway a little bit bigger.
Right.
By putting it on that angle, you're aiming at that middle tree, the guardian tree, and it's pushing away from it and making that fairway a bit bigger. So that's a good point to bring that up.
And Ricky just going dead flat with the Firebird.
Which you have to have a lot of good risk control, because then if you pull it by not annieing it, you can pull it into that tree on the left, which he missed only by 3 feet.
And that's really the mistake with the forehand, is pulling it onto the tree in that left, or getting it a little too high.
Yeah. And these guys are thinking birdie every hole to finish. You have to birdie every hole and eagle the last hole. That's what they're thinking. If they do that, they win the tournament.
Yeah, you're also going baby Annie to open up that fairway, like you said. What are you throwing right there?
That's a force as well. And it was funny. We almost had identical tee shots. Almost hit the tree identical, everything.
That hole is just a little too long for the Raptor, or you just like it in that moment to go a little bit more stable, a little bit faster?
It's definitely a little too far for my arm speed to force it on that hole. I might be able to get it to circle's edge, and it would actually be a more controllable shot as we see Paul tap in another birdie. I get the nice birdie. But I would probably only be pushing it about circle's edge, and so...
Yeah. We need him closer than that.
yeah, for sure.
Star frame. Very nice.
Nice slow-mo. You see how whack. You see how that right at the end he had almost had a stutter with his wrist, and that's where you can kind of pull it.
Yeah.
By doing Annie, there's no stutter. It's all follow through.
Yep. I like the way you can see how he opens up his fingers too. Kind of like his putt.
Yep.
Like lets it go, opens up, and extends.
Hole 15, par 4, 558 feet. Interesting fact about this hole is Ricky and Paul definitely have the distance to get there, especially on this day.
They're just not playing aggressive though.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I'm interested to see if they're gonna lay up or if they're gonna be aggressive.
I mean, well in their wheelhouse.
Sure.
Both of them.
We've seen them eagle this in the past, I believe.
Yep. And the hole's shifted. The wind isn't there, so the fairway is back to being a normal fairway size. Okay, he's lining up a driver.
Yeah. So Paul is playing aggressive.
He's going for it.
And this is turned over.
That is
OB.
That's going OB.
Yep, OB off the sidewalk, off the thing, underneath the fence, back to safe.
Is that real life? It went back underneath the fence?
It was over the fence, then back under the fence.
I can see the red in Ricky's ears right now. He can't believe it.
You know, I was there, and as a commentator, I need to bring that, into this perspective, is he was not happy about that reaction. He even looked over like, really? And then he, but then he calms himself, throws it right in the middle. And I dropped my elbow, and this was just, hot doo-doo. That's just such a mistake you can't make.
No,
it's just hot doo-doo.
It's 50 feet OB.
it's so bad. Like, let's just go to Emerson here.
Emerson has the distance. No,
Yeah, straight OB. Oh, maybe back in like Macbeth? Nope.
Man, I can't. I just can't believe it. Over the fence and back underneath it?
At this
stage...
Did he
cut roll? He just cut rolled on the hill.
Right back in. At this stage in the game, too.
That's everything. That's one stroke for sure, potentially two strokes.
With momentum, and it aggravates Ricky at that point.
He's got to be heated. I would be heated. I mean, you never want to root against your opponent, really.
Oh, where you're not rooting against them. It just is what it is, You throw a bad shot, you get penalized.
Yeah, and he threw it OB, and now he's looking at an easy approach for Bird.
Look at where Ricky goes. He's right here, inbounds, approach.
Hits the one tree that you need to miss on your way to the green.
Now he has a putt that he has to earn. After thinking, oh, wide open. Now Macbeth slides underneath the fence. This is his approach. He has 150 feet.
Feet in bounds.
Yeah.
He's got to go to a knee. Oh, no. And it was a beautiful putt.
Oh, right on target. Great wrist control, and it just didn't drop. And I'm lining this up for par.
Nope.
Just a bad bogey.
That's a bogey.
At this point in the round, this is now shifted from previous round from being one of the easier holes, or pardon me, one of the hardest holes, to now it's one of the easier holes. And Emerson, the putting woes continue.
Yeah, a little left side.
And Paul.
Does that put him up 2?
That puts him up 2, right?
Wow. Yeah, you see that? He really didn't give you the full low 5 on there. I don't know if he's kind of like feeling a little weird after rolling underneath the fence like that. Or if he's just...
It's a good putt, though.
Yeah. Okay,
so only up 1.
He's up 1.
Pardon us on that. Yeah, he's up 1. And...
with 3 to go.
With 3 to go. So now we have like the tightest battle ever. Emerson and I are just bogeying. These guys are in a land, a land of their own over there, getting kicks and bounds, and like this is so fun. Hole 16, par 4, 585 feet. And this is another one that these guys can get aggressive.
It's time to get aggressive, Ricky.
But we've felt it the whole round. They're just kind of... I've never seen a battle go back and forth like this in a long time.
It's been a really long time. Maybe 2014 Worlds, which you were also a part of.
Yeah. And he just chucks it in. And that's what he has to do. With one stroke, he has to think to himself, birdies. If I birdie out... Actually, you can't think if you birdie out, you're going to win, because that's probably, you have to play perfect. And perfect at this point is with an eagle on the last hole.
Exactly right.
Nose up, skip. This is just... I use all the fairway right there. That had no business being in bounds.
Back to back OB, not cool.
No. And, I'm doing a little scoreboard watching myself, and I see that I have to actually birdie out and get that eagle for my third place finish.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to catch you.
Yeah, and so...
James is trying to catch you. Seppo's caught you.
Yep.
Alex Russell's caught you.
Me, yep. They're ahead, and
So you're actually looking at Udis saying,
Okay, I
this
have to
is what I
play. I
gotta
have to
do.
be perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect +1.
Perfect +1. Yeah. That's
It's
disc
a lot
golf
of
in
pressure.
2019.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, man. And it's pressure that I've really never had to deal with. Like, hey, you have to be perfect +1. That's not a real thing, you know?
Yeah.
And
Does
Paul,
he hit the tree? It
it's a magnet. It's
continues.
a magnet, man. There has to be drama. So now he has this 30-footer. Paul, Ricky's parked.
Wow.
Stripe.
That's a great putt. Yeah, he's starting to figure it out. He's starting to figure it out. We saw wintertime. We saw Vegas. He was a little low. You know, the Luna's just a little bit different of a putter, and he was a little bit low.
And then at Memorial, I felt like he had a lot of angle on his putt to where it was almost spike hyzer-y. You know,
Yeah.
it switched from being hyzer to almost spike hyzer, and he
Yeah.
flattened it out, and that went in
Yeah.
with such touch right there. As Emerson and I tap in for birdies as well. It was a good hole.
And this is where it starts to get really interesting, because this is where big swings can happen on this next hole. Paul's up by 1, but it takes 2 perfectly executed shots to make this next hole happen. Signature hole on the course, hole 17, par 4, 530 feet. Sidewalk left, OB right and early, OB long even. I mean, if you've got the distance, the OB long comes into play. We're taking a 90-degree turn right here, and now we've got OB right, we've got water left, and we have a 55-foot green up here.
Yeah. What a beautiful hole, though.
Yeah, no doubt. We're gonna be seeing some sidearms. So is he going Kong right here because he needs the distance?
I think he is.
He throws it soft.
He goes Kong.
It looks like it's early, but it's perfect. It's in front of those trees. Wow.
Absolutely perfect.
Ricky going Stable Destroyer. Plenty of distance. Looks like it's curling. Gets the green flag. You got the distance it takes to get into position? Of course you do, or you wouldn't be throwing this shot.
Right. Yeah. No, it's that perfect distance for me, where I can juice it and get to that sweet spot.
Nice.
So I haven't had a real problem with this hole, especially with there being a nice slight tailwind for the helping the older generation there.
And Emerson with a great looking sidearm to get in front of the tree as well. Okay, so you're gonna have to go.
And
you
go
go flat to hyzer, out over the water. You really wanted that one.
I didn't want to have to putt, and I wanted to play super aggressive right there. I knew, we had talked about it before. I knew in order for me to catch third at this point, I had to really be aggressive. And you see Ricky do the same thing. He's in the same position as me, except he's trying to win the tournament, and he goes super aggressive. Not the best ground play after that shot, though.
I mean, he hit like right at the pin, maybe a little after. Now he's outside the circle up against the OB wall.
And it's really easy to stick there with that thick grass. And you see Paul.
He's in perfect position. I mean, he gets to throw a lofty hyzer at the pin.
But now these guys have circle edge putts, Neither of them are in great position, honestly.
Yeah, and Paul's is like a direct death putt right there.
Yep.
Wow, Emerson's drive, unbelievable.
Yeah, he just absolutely pumps it out of the hand right there. And then he plays a pretty good, right in the circle.
Yeah.
I mean, really good shot. This hole is so hard. Anything in the circle, you're just ecstatic.
Yeah.
And this is a must make for Ricky.
Absolutely. No.
Gets the nose
just
down.
A little bit nose down.
You see his reaction. He is not happy about it.
So can Paul possibly lay this up, or is he going for another stick on Ricky right here?
No, there's just with the final hole being so eagleable, Paul has to go for
He
this.
needs another one to get to be comfortable.
And it's calm, and he's at circle's edge. And did I mention he's Paul McBeth? Like, this guy doesn't have nerves. And if he does, he doesn't show them. and he just puts that on the stripe.
It's a pure death putt.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
that easy of a putt.
It's not that easy of a putt at all because you miss, and that could be the tournament. So laying up isn't out of the question right there, and he just nails it.
Yeah, and I can't think of anybody. If you had to make that putt, I can't think of anybody I'd rather have putt that besides those two people right there. Maybe Eagle. They're
Yep.
just so good. They're just
Yeah.
all so good.
Yeah, they're on another level when it comes down to the wire like this.
As far as the pressure, like I'm feeling pressure on this thing. I have like 18 feet, and I'm thinking, I have my own battles that I have to deal with, and
Yep.
it's just so
It's a
crazy
good putt.
the pressure that they're under,
Mhm.
and they're just
And this is for fifth place, fourth
yeah,
place, third place for you,
which
and
is important for us. The
It
rest of
is.
the field, like we take pride in finishing top 10.
absolutely.
If you're
No, I'm
top,
looking at the scores as well, and I'm
Yep.
like, okay, I need to get this, and I did exactly what you did. I had to take it out over the water because James and I are looking. We're like, we need to finish birdie, eagle.
and so we're on hole 18, par 4, 492 feet. We've seen in rounds past we had that kind of right to left tail cross.
Yep.
And it's kind of calmed down, but there's still a little bit of a tailwind. The only difference is this is now for the win for Paul McBeth. He's going to have the tee.
And what's worst case scenario here for Paul? What's worst case? He just rips it over.
He has-
can't get up and down.
He has options. He could totally lay up left,
Yeah.
pitch up, and win the tournament that
Yeah.
way. You know?
I mean, but this is such a routine shot for Paul McBeth.
Yep. And so he gets it out. This is on a nice angle, but you can easily go too far. It's
Yeah.
water the whole way. OB left, OB right. No problem. That's game over.
Wow.
That's game over.
Wow.
So he goes 30-footer on the last hole, or 31 feet on the last hole, and then just knocks that one to 8 feet. And now Ricky has to ace the hole to even have a chance.
I mean, the way that it unfolded, I'm still kind of wrapping my head around it. I'm really thinking back to going over the fence and rolling back in. That's where it really changed.
That's a good point, yeah.
Look at this low line drive.
Just a little
Plenty
bit
of power,
too,
though.
A little bit too low, I really needed the eagle there for my best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm nervous. I'm definitely nervous. There's a lot of people watching.
There are hundreds of people. It was amazing, actually.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't have power like those guys. If I mess up, I'm in the water for sure.
Yep.
No doubt. And I'm happy with that result. It actually gives me a long shot at putting that in.
Amazing to watch this kid throw, though.
Yep. He gets a little bit bad reaction off that ground play, and he goes in the water. That's OB.
I mean, he had plenty of distance, bad reaction.
And here's Ricky. He has to make it. Only option is ace. He gets it flat. It's hooking up.
Does it have a chance?
It looks pretty good.
Just a little deep.
It was a
Gets
nice
the sour
skip. I
roll.
mean,
Yeah, I bet for all the spectators right there that it looked great from their angle.
yeah, and here's Emerson lining this up. And I can't say enough good things about Emerson. He is such a good kid. He actually has a daughter on the way. So
Wow.
Congratulations to him. And he's out here playing his heart out for Texas.
Yep.
Local kid. You could tell the crowd was on his side. And
It
Ricky
won't be
actually
his last time on the lead card.
No, he has so many skills. And Ricky actually has low limb or leaves right there on the bottom stroke to where when you're a push putter and you're dragging, those can really get in your head. And you can see he's kind of deflated at this point, though.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
playing
he's
for
lost
the
the
win.
tournament.
Yep, he
He
lost the
throws the
tournament.
mini down. He's lost the tournament, and that's what he.
If
I mean,
that,
obviously, that's what he came here to do.
yeah, and if that puts for the the tie over there, it's probably going
Sinks
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a big difference. It's a good point.
and we're just trying to get out of the champion's way at this point.
So that birdie is for fifth place for you?
Yeah, solo fifth, so still a good birdie.
And a great finish, great tournament.
Yeah, especially how I started the year. But back to, the champ right there, Paul McBeth, his first big win after the big switch. And
he beats last year's score by 10 strokes. That's a whole nother round at the Beast.
Not only that, he pops the 18 down, and Ricky still had a 2-stroke lead. What a battle between those two. Thank you guys for joining us on this.
This has been amazing.
Awesome final round in Waco. This is just the second stop on the Pro Tour. I can't wait for the rest of the year to unfold, especially with all these, new faces. Emerson showing what he's got. Like, this is just awesome, Nate. And
yeah, man.
Thank you, Dynamic Discs, for sponsoring the event. If you guys want to support Nate and I, link will be at the end of this video for our signature disc. Our sponsors were gracious enough to help us out with our commentary and put that link here at Pro Tour. Thank you guys. Look at that link. Mine's the Raptor. Nate, what's yours?
Night Strike 2.
Yeah, go get your guys. Go get a couple of those and support us. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Let's go.